good evening, or good morning, depends on when you're seeing this. I just wanted to get on here and share a piece of information that a mentor said to me a long time ago, back when I was in my 30s, and it was really pretty helpful, and it took me a really long time to put into practice. But in 2026, it's coming in clutch. And so maybe you want to hear this, maybe you don't, but maybe you want to put it into practice, maybe you don't. I was working for Staples. I was either an assistant or a store manager down in the South Bend, Indiana store. And my district manager, I always really wanted to impress him and show him that I knew what I was doing and worked real hard. And I became a general manager a different way. Like, I did it through like proving myself. Like, others had to go and like interview and do different things, but like I just like busted my butt and tried so hard. And I remember one day saying to him, like, I feel like you don't like me. And he said to me, he said, Jen, he said, I'm not responsible for how my words make you feel. And I didn't know what to say after that. I was kind of speechless, and it bounced around in my head for a while. And I worked for him for 7 or 8 years after that. But I worked really hard at kind of like hearing those words, and in the background of my head, I just kind of like processed, but also like tried to put them into practice a little bit. But I ended up really like figuring out later on in life, like, that meant something, in the sense of like, his words weren't responsible for my feelings. And I need people in 2026 to hear this and sit with this. Like, we are coming for people's tones, for people's nonverbals at this point, because people can't even be honest with each other anymore. We can't be direct. You can't directly say, hey, you hurt my feelings, because then the other person might start crying because then their feelings got hurt. Or I remember being at the nurse's station one time when I was doing something with like coworkers, and I was back there, made a comment at my previous like place that I worked at, and I made a comment, and the person, like, I literally stated a fact out loud, and they didn't react. And so then I said, like, basically like, hey, like, are you going to react to the situation, or are you just going to talk and tell us about it? And that person came for me, and they were like, oh, that was so mean. Why are you always so mean? And I'm like, that wasn't mean. I stated a fact. Like, stating facts now have become like people's chance to like assume that you were being mean and all this other stuff, versus like, oh, wait a minute, like something big just happened and maybe like I should react to it. Like, and I didn't react, so now I feel foolish. So instead of just saying like, ooh, yeah, my bad, like, and having a little bit of like self-awareness, self-accountability, like, we go for people, we come for people. You're mean, like, your tone was mean, like, you said this or you said that. And in moments of like, another thing that I've learned that was absolutely phenomenal that I learned was that, like, I walked into a room one time with a respiratory therapist at the last place I worked with, and she terrified me. Oh my God, she's brilliant, but she was so terrifying. And I literally like walked in and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, because as a NICU nurse, like, I was never like super confident in the beginning. I felt like a fraud. I'm imposter syndrome, hardcore. You want to talk about imposter syndrome? Go be a NICU nurse when you're like 40 something in a level 3 NICU, where these women are phenomenal and some men are phenomenal. All these nurses are amazing. And like, you've got these respiratory therapists who, like, I'm sorry, but those guys are freaking heroes. Like, if people, this is 2026 and people keep trying to diminish and not appreciate a respiratory therapist, I'm gonna need you to get out of my way, because the RT is the first person I'm gonna befriend. Why? Because in the NICU, the biggest, scariest thing is when a child clamps down or stops having problems or can't breathe, or there's a struggle with their airway. And guess who understands that inside and out? Your respiratory therapist. So if people could, first of all, start being nice to them. But I remember being terrified with her, and I said to her, literally, because she was like, no BS, she was old school. I walked in and she's like, what's your story? I was like, here's my story. I was like, I don't know what I don't know, but I need you to tell me when I don't know something. I said, I don't care how you get my attention. I said, so in the moment, yell at me, whatever you have to do. All my ask is that when we're done, that you step aside, and then when things have calmed down and we've saved the baby or whatever we needed to do, you teach me. You teach me. Why can we not take people's tones as teaching moments? If somebody gets some way with you and you say to them, like, hey, I'm so sorry, what's going on? Like, are you okay? Like, and sure, if they don't notice it, that's fine. But like, pull the message out of their snarkiness or their sarcasm or whatever they're coming at you with, or their angry tone. because it's 2026 and we're all struggling. So instead of finding kindness to meet each other with, we just want to deflect and start saying like, oh, that was mean. You came for me. That tone was mean. No. Like, how do I get your attention when you work in a freaking like level 3 or level 4 NICU with babies that can die in a second? Like, literally the scariest kids are not the kids that are on ventilators. They're actually the room air kids. Why? Because you don't know what they're going to do. Because literally you spend all day trying to study them and figure out what they're going to do. So I share all these pieces of information with everybody because I need people in 2026 to like love on each other a little bit more and like find each other with some positive curiosity and question why people are the way they are instead of negatively assuming that they already understand and believe. I had a conversation with somebody the other day and they're like, well, you know, you believe this. That's funny. I never said what I believed, but all of a sudden, you know, without asking me. Let's have conversations, people. It's 2026. Get out of your phone and quit watching freaking everybody else on freaking Facebook and TikTok and all the rest of this stuff. Yes, I'm posting stuff, but I've started to learn how to disconnect from all of this stuff. Because guess what? Is it real? I don't know. People put on a great show, but not everybody tells you that their life is a dumpster fire. And a lot of us are struggling with the fact that our lives are dumpster fires. Mine's a dumpster fire right now, but guess what? I know how to put it out. One freaking piece at a time. I have to face the things that I've ran from my entire life. That's okay. I can sit with that stuff. I don't have a problem with that. But I just don't need everybody else being freaking jury and judge. Because yeah, I switched it. We used to say judge and jury. I think it's jury and judge. We automatically assume and then we're like, yep, that's what it is. No. 2026. You want to know about me? Come ask about me. You don't understand me or don't like me? Ask questions before you make judgments. And if you just want to dismiss me, I'm okay with that. Because guess what? I didn't mean enough for you to keep me in your life. And that's okay. I understand. But in 2026, as I move forward through this with love and curiosity and everything else, for all of you that love me and embrace me and accept me for my faults, thank you. For those of you that I haven't met, please find me with positive curiosity. And if you don't understand, ask questions. And for those of you that I've been in your life and you've dismissed me, I enjoyed all of you because everybody had an effect on making me who I am today. And that I'm grateful for. So I love you all. Hopefully you're being kind to yourself and be kind to one another.